Hi guys, Carmen here with Clean Cut Graphics, and on today's video we would like to show you the difference between permanent adhesive vinyl and heat transfer vinyl and why it's cut differently. Alright guys, has it ever happened to you where you go to a store and you buy a whole bunch of pretty vinyl and then you get home and you forget what is what, or you've opened it and unpacked it and then you threw away all the instructions of if it was adhesive or it was HTV, or like everybody else, we all have that tub with all our scraps, right, our leftovers, and then you forget if it was HTV, heat transfer vinyl, or permanent adhesive. One quick way to figure out what is what: normally adhesive permanent vinyl will have paper on the back. Sometimes it'll say Oracal 651, sometimes it'll just be blank white paper. What I normally do is I grab my weeding pen and I just go to a corner, very simple, and lift up the vinyl. I open it up. If the vinyl is sticky, then that's what it's telling me that this is Oracal 651 or adhesive vinyl, pattern vinyl. And it's sticky, so this would be adhesive. Most of all of the adhesive vinyl is permanent unless it's 631. 631 is non-permanent. That's the one you use for walls, for all your decals for your walls, and that would be easier to remove if you decide I don't want it there no more, I want it somewhere else. But other than that, 651 is permanent. This is what you use for when you're making decals for cars, coffee mugs, your tumblers, anything that has a smooth surface. The vinyl will adhere to it great. I do not recommend putting adhesive vinyl on the popcorn walls or anything with texture on it. It will not stay. So that's how you tell adhesive. HTV normally the vinyl is on the back, so that's why when you go to cut it, you put it facing down and you mirror it. And if you don't know if this is paper or not, what you can do again is go to the corner and just peel off a small little section in the corner, and when you go to lift it up, it should have a clear or frosted sheet. All right, there. So it normally has a clear sheet. Some stuff has, like Caesar Easy Bead Stretch has frosted, or the Puff has frosted carrier sheet. But the way you could tell is that the actual vinyl will not be sticky. And when it's not sticky, that's how you could tell that it is heat transfer vinyl. All right, and you could just push it back onto your sheet and no damage has been done, and you can still cut it and use it. So this was not sticky, this was HTV, and the vinyl is on the back and the carrier clear sheet's on top. That clear sheet is to keep your vinyl protected for when you are pressing your vinyl. So heat transfer vinyl and adhesive vinyl. All right guys, let's get on to how to cut our vinyl. Alright guys, so I am going to show you how to cut your adhesive vinyl. First, you're going to want to put it starting on the corner with the color facing up. Very important. Why? Because the color is the vinyl and you want to put the backing of it down, because you are going to cut the vinyl and not the backing. You're going to insert it into your machine. Remember, color facing up. You're going to make sure that the setting for Oracle is on vinyl. If this is your first time cutting this type of vinyl, some permanent adhesive is thicker than other. I would recommend you do a test cut, maybe a little circle, a little square, right in the corner, maybe about ½ an inch. Do a little test cut. If that works great, go ahead and cut the rest of your image. If not, then go ahead and move your settings up to a little bit higher. It's super important to not mirror when you're doing adhesive, because for this particular adhesive vinyl, you are not going to flip it over. You are going to just pick it up and transfer it onto wherever you desire to put it on. All right, now that your decal has been cut, go ahead and remove it. I usually flip my mat backwards and pull on the mat so I don't damage my decal and it doesn't mess up. There we go. And here it is. You could cut the excess off. And you could use your weeding pen. Start weeding out what we don't need or want. I start at a corner and start to weed it out at an angle. This decal is not too big, so I could weed most of it out in one. What I recommend that when you are weeding something and it gets too big, you could also cut as you go and get rid of that so it doesn't fall back on to your decal and it doesn't get stuck to anything else. All right, let's finish weeding this decal. And as you see, when you're using the correct settings, it will cut all the way through. You'll have no issues with the vinyl, and it will be pretty easy to weed. And we are done weeding. This is what your finished product will look like. Alright guys, and now to cut our HTV heat transfer vinyl. For this one, you are going to put shiny side down because you want to expose the vinyl. Remember, the shiny part to it is the carrier sheet that keeps it protected from the heat press burning your vinyl. So shiny side down. You put it right at the corner, just like adhesive. You set it down. You take out any bubbles you may have, and you insert it into your machine. Now, for this one is a different setting. For this, we will need to change the settings to Light Cardstock Plus. Again, if it's your first time doing this vinyl, I would suggest doing a test cut, small circle, square, or any shape at the corner. It doesn't have to be bigger than ½ an inch. And you are going to mirror your decal. Why? Because you want to cut it backwards because the vinyl is backwards. So once you cut it backwards, when you take it off, you will flip it. Once you flip it, the words will be the right way. You guys ready? Let's get to cutting. All right, now we take out our decal. Peel it off the mat. And it's ready to weed out. Flip it over. Take off the extra. Always save your scraps, guys, always. And you start to weed. Best part is to start at the corner at an angle. I'm trying to be careful. Careful with these sharp tools. Again, when your settings are correct, it will cut out real easily, and weeding should be just as easy. And if you're having a hard time seeing where your cut is, that's why I recommend to start at a corner and go at an angle, because you'll be able to see everything better and easier. And this is why it's important to have good lighting, so that way you can see your image and it'll be much easier for you to weed. Because once you see where your decal is, everything else will come easy peasy. This is a thicker vinyl than your normal Caesar Easy Weed or Stretch. That's why we use thicker settings for this one. But as long as your settings are good, it is easy to weed. And there you go. And are you guys ready to see why you mirror your words? Because when you flip it over to put it on your shirt, then you will be able to see the words going the right way. If you would have not mirrored, your words would have been backwards. So here is our t-shirt decal, and it is ready for you to press on your desired garment, whether it's a shirt, a hoodie, a blanket, a pillow, anything you can put an iron to, you could press this decal on. Alright guys, and since we already know how to press vinyl on our shirts from our previous videos, I do want to show you how to add a decal to a soft surface. I have this little tablet here that I'm going to put this on. So for this, for adhesive, you do need transfer tape. Transfer tape is a tacky enough to pick up the decal, but not too sticky that it will bring off the paint off of whatever you are applying it to. So what I like to do is unroll my tape, kind of measure the size of my decal. That's perfect right there. I am going to go ahead and cut my desired piece. Now the cool thing about this tape is that you can reuse it and stick it right back onto the roll. After you use it, you could actually use it like 7 times before you even throw it away. So save it after you use it. Alright guys, so the way this is going to work is, I like to call it the taco method, because you literally fold your tape like a taco. Can you guys see that right there? I have folded with the sticky side out. So you're going to do the half of the tape to each corner right there. You are going to put it in the middle of your decal. You are going to slowly let it fall. And what I like to do is slowly put it on one side, and then slowly go on the next one, so you don't have a lot of those bubbles. Now what I like to do is do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. So kind of like in a wave. That way you bring all the bubbles out. Again, always doing everything at an angle is the best way. And you're going to press hard around your surface here, your edges. You're going to make sure you get all the inside too, because you want to make sure you get those, like the inside of the O, the inside of the E, the A. You want to make sure you get all that as well. Alright guys, now that we have pressed really hard, we are going to pick up again at the corner at an angle. You guys, can you guys see how good this is coming off? How easily? I'm going to flip it around for you guys to see. So you start at an angle and you just bring it up. Let's say, oops, you know, a little part didn't come on the tape. Just bring it right back down and squeegee again on that side, and then you are good to go. Just keep doing that until all of your decal is on your tape. Ta-da! So now that our decal is on our tape, the backing, see the back? That's garbage. You can move that out of the way. So now to put it, to apply it onto wherever you decide to do it, remember the taco method, you're going to want to find, instead of doing from tape to tape, you are going to want to do from decal to decal. So you're going to want to go from where it starts to where it ends, kind of line it up, because that will be the middle of your decal. So once you know where that middle of your decal is, you are going to want to put it on your cup, tumbler, mug, whatever it is. You're going to want to start with that right there. Alright, so now that I have this, again, we're going to lay it down slowly. And for this, you use a squeegee so you don't get bubbles. It is very important that you use a squeegee. I know this is not going to be perfect, but because I'm doing it upside down and at an angle and a camera for you guys, but I just want you guys to get the gist of it. Alright, so again, at an angle, not up or down because you don't want to damage or lift up. So, at an angle, there we go. Once you press really hard to apply your decal all over, this is where you start with the tape. At an angle, you peel it back slowly. And if the decal, let's say, it comes back up, that means you didn't go hard enough. So you go back and you press hard. But as you see, my decal is great. So we're just gonna hold it here and peel it at an angle. See that little piece right there? It's coming back up. I'm just gonna go right back down and press hard on that teensy weensy little space, and then peel it again at an angle. And it's okay to do it 2 or 3 times until it sticks to how you want it. Or if you feel like you want to do it from another angle, you can, because those could be really tricky. See how this time it didn't lift up? It stayed perfectly right there. So all you do is peel it at an angle, and you are good to go. This one almost came out perfect. Like, I don't have any bubbles or anything, but there you go, guys. That's what it should look like at the end. And that's how you apply adhesive 651 to a soft surface, whether it's glass, whether it's plastic. But that right there shows you there's no bubbles. Perfect, guys, perfect. And that was it for our video today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today on how to use adhesive vinyl and how to use HTV vinyl. This is Carmen here with Clean Cut Graphics. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos.